And I've been following this legislation stuff for a very long time. I've been in the political realm for a long time. I campaigned for Ron Paul. I saw massive corruption around his campaign, not with him, but the powers that be in the establishment coming after him. I mean, he was the only candidate exposed in the Federal Reserve, and he was a medical doctor exposing a lot of the corruption in Big Pharma, the swine flu corruption, and said, don't buy into this. No, but I digress. But my point being is, during the lockdowns, how easy did we just forfeit our rights? Rights that men have sacrificed and women sacrificed their lives for, and just so easily we just gave them up for a virus. And to me, I'm like, whoa, slow down here, Skippy. We have a massive, agenda here, and these rights are just vital. They're precious freedoms. And when the government takes away rights and freedoms, they don't give them back. And we have very easily anyway. We have to take them back. We have to fight for them. And so there are 5 freedoms in the First Amendment. Number 1, we have freedom of religion. Churches were locked down, closed down. Okay. We have freedom of speech. Obviously, that was being censored. I mean, you look at us. I mean, I was deplatformed. You were censored. I was, there's so much censorship going on. Truth was being suppressed. Lives were lost with that. Okay. Then we have another third freedom, which is the freedom of the press. Well, we know that the press is bought and paid for. It's a top-down agenda. I mean, I'm in a lawsuit being represented by the Children's Health Defense for this very act of they're in violation of the Sherman Act, which is a violation of our First Amendment. They formulated a stronghold with information and when it comes to journalism. And so it makes it harder for the grassroots journalists to get information out. They want to be the gatekeepers of truth. Then the fourth freedom, we have the freedom to petition our government, and we have the freedom to form an assembly. So think about this. All those 5 freedoms in the First Amendment, we had government lockdowns. We couldn't meet in groups more than 6 people. I'm like, hey, a-holes, that's my family size. Like, I'm in violation with just my family being together. I mean, so and they had no more than 6 people in a household. Then they had, so that means we can't even form an assembly. And then really the petition the government. Well, good luck with that. Our government has grown out of its scope of practice. And so this Constitution is there to restrict the government from growing into the monster it is in today. So the government has grown too big, in my opinion, and it's grown outside the scope of practice in the Constitution. And they use this COVID as an experiment, in my opinion, to really see how easily we just gave up our rights so easily in a form of a pandemic.